Tucked away in the mountains of the Sierra Nevada, we find an iconic location, Yosemite. That is a myriad of giant granite boulders, monoliths, cliffs, waterfalls, wildlife, you name it. It's one of the most famous American national parks, and it's found in east central California. It's also a favorite of movie makers because not only is it not too far away from Los Angeles and production facilities, but it's an amazingly beautiful place, offering scales of all different kinds. It's a particularly important place for people shooting movies that involve mountain climbing. And it is sci-fi summer, and one of those movies we want to feature is Star Trek V, The Final Frontier. In Star Trek V, you'll remember Captain Kirk, on his vacation time, decides to climb El Capitan, or the steep vertical face of El Capitan. And he's visited by his good friends, Mr. Spock and Dr. McCoy. This is an iconic place, and climbers come from all over the world to scale these giant vertical cliffs, which are made up of granite. And the story of this place, actually, you have to dial back a little ways, about 100 million years, to really tell it. If we go back about 80 to 100 million years ago, to the late Cretaceous period, magma was upwelling in this area, coming up from deep within the earth. And it pooled, if you will, underneath this part of California. It cooled this large block of granite called a batholith. And this granite batholith was hundreds of miles long. It was huge. And over the next, say, 100, we'll call it 80 million years or so, this batholith was uplifted. And about 20 million years ago, especially in the Miocene, it really started to come up. And as it began to come up towards the surface, a lot of the softer rocks on top were eroded away. But these eroded areas were sculpting down into this exposing batholith of granite until, and at the same time actually tilting a bit to the west. And so we had this uneven erosion where rivers could cut down into these rocks as they came up. This was all a part of a later part of the Rocky Mountain rocky building process, and then the basin and range process, which was younger still. But between 20 and about 2 million years, we had a lot of erosion that exposed these beautiful granite mountains that make up the heart of Yosemite. But what really sculpted them into the beautiful place they are today wasn't water, but rather was ice, the glaciers. About 2.6 million years ago, we had massive ice sheets come in, and these mountainous ice sheets would run down these valleys and scour the valleys out into these U shapes and really sculpt, if you will, the mountaintops into these rounded forms that you see today. And granite is perfect for this sort of sculpture. It's a hard rock, resistant to erosion, but it does sort of cleave off, if you will, in these rounded shapes and erode that way. And so it turns out that after a few million years of glacial activity, we've got this landscape that we have today. And two of the most famous monoliths, if you will, of granite are El Capitan, which is famous for its very vertical face that brought climbers come from all over the world, like Captain Kirk, to climb, and Half Dome, which is a beautiful dome that's unfortunately for it broken off, and so we only have half of it. So it has this great sort of half moon shape. Both of these are very famous places for visitors to come from all over and visit, and for Hollywood as well to come shoot.